Well, I just removed some wallpaper from some kitchen walls. So you know what time it is now? It's time to make some more videos. That's what I like to say. Stick around. Geez, what's going on here? I got all this stuff here and I've just removed the wallpaper. You would have thought, hey, let's just go ahead and paint these walls. Well, we can't do that yet. I've got some sheetrock mud here. I've got some quick set, some all-purpose joint compound. I've got a nail bag here. I've got some plastic here. I've got a bucket here. Man, how come I have all this stuff here? Well, let me just kind of walk you around. We'll peruse the area to see what's happening. Okay, this particular wall right here, see that line right there? Right here. That's the sheetrock paper face peeling back. Now see that right there? See it's puckered right there? Now you go over about 2 feet and son of a gun, there's another peaked area of the wall. What's up with that? Well, what happened was when the wallpaper guy installed his wallpaper, you remember those strips were about 2 feet wide, and sure enough, there's a line there, and there's a line over there. And what they did is they ran that paper and then they double cut the seams. And so they ran a razor blade down there to get their straight edge. When they did that, they cut right into the paper face of the sheetrock. Now, that was 30 years ago. Did they really care what was going to happen when somebody removed that wallpaper later on down the road? Apparently not. Okay. I'll show you how to fix those in a little bit. All right. Up here at the ceiling, we're probably going to have to caulk that. And I look over here. Here's a crack right there that we're going to have to fix. There's a nail head exposed. We're going to have to clean all the sheetrock or the caulking around the window frames. I want to do that too. And now is as good a time as any to do that because I'm going to have to do some work on the side of this. And I don't want my putty knife, my broad knife, sheetrock broad knife, to start hitting those rough edges along the window. Besides, that's got to be cleaned anyways, okay? So I'm going to have to work on that. And here's a nice little crack up here between the windows. You know, in this joint here. It looks like the sheetrock is a little stained. It's water stained or something. And we're going to have to address that. See the water stain up here too. We're going to have to figure out what to do with that. There's some screw holes that have to be caulked. Here's some more stuff over here. We're going to have to do some work around that. Here's some nail heads that have popped. Okay. Look down below the window. There's another nail head there that's loose. There's one there. I think I showed you that crack. There's a crack there up to the corner. What are we going to do with that? If we just put caulking on there, chances are that's going to re-crack. So we're going to have to fix that a different way. Okay, here's another crack along this joint. Right along there and right there. Okay, we'll have to fix that. And here's some sheetrock paper. When the wallpaper got removed, there's a couple spots where the paper face of the sheetrock started pulling loose. You got to be careful with that. When it starts coming loose on one side, try to pull the wallpaper on another side so you can minimize those marks. Okay. Up here, where the wallpaper came off, that was on existing spray texture wall right there, and they skimmed right over the paint, and sure enough, when it got wet, some of it loosened up, so I had to scrape that off. There's a nice little ridge right there, a little bump there. We're going to have to fix that. Here's something on the wall that had been screwed on there before, so we're going to have to address that. Okay, so you're gonna get a lot on this video series. Now see right here and right there. See how that's sheetrock mud. These existing walls along this wall over here. See, they years ago they built this bay window here. Okay, so that's all new sheetrock 30 years ago. Well, before that, this wall here is older than that, and this used to have a spray texture on here, so they skimmed out this wall here right over the spray texture, and in certain areas it started lifting a little bit, not a whole lot, but see how it's kind of raised on the edges a little bit. There's in a few spots we're gonna have to lightly sand that and go over that, figure out how to fix that, because ultimately I'm gonna put a skim coat, a tight skim coat over this. It's not going to be too hard because there's already skim coat on here, right? I'll show you how to do that. If you've been watching my channel, you've been looking at the sheetrock videos, you probably already know how to do a tight skim. So this might just be a review for you. If you decide to watch that portion of the video series, you can. I see up there, it looks like, what was going on with that? His sheetrock mud has cracked and lifted there, and the tape line has gotten loose up on the ceiling just a little. I'll have to figure out what to do with that. I mean, ultimately, like I said, I'm going to skim coat over this entire area. And I'm going to have a friend of mine, he's going to come over here after all that, after I get the windows cleaned up and get a little bit more work done on these walls. He's going to spray texture this, and he's got a little hopper. And I'm going to enjoy doing that video because he's going to do the work, and I'm going to be sitting there asking him questions like you would be asking him questions. Okay? Right there is where some paper lifted from before, and they patched over that. And I see how it's lifting right there. Here's a little line here. Here's another line over there. I want to get all that stuff taken care of before he comes over here to spray texture, because once he spray textures, everything on the inside's got to be fixed first, okay? I go through the kitchen. Yes, they had wallpaper around this window right here too. And I had to take that off. Look at the color of the paint years ago. Yeah, that was considered a nice color. Ooh, isn't that nice? Okay, so the texture, that wall, the skim coat material came right off. So I scraped a little bit of that off. You can see some of the remnants of the skim coat material they put on there from previous. So I'm going to have to redo that around the window. I cleaned all that off. I'll have to patch around that, clean up around that. And see, even the kitchen entrance, you see here they painted before that light color, and before that, if you look in there, it's that nice green minty color that they went over. You see here? Yeah, they had 2 coats of paint on there. I'm gonna have to skim coat that out too. Okay, all the way down this edge. I'll have to be real careful when I do that. All right. So man, I got my work cut out for me again. But you know what? I'm going to be able to do it all. And if you stick around, if you watch this entire video series, you know you can do it too.